If you're going to die while trying to save yourself some tax money, well, 2010 is a good year to do it. That's because the federal estate tax, or so-called death tax, doesn't go back on the federal books until next year. All kidding aside, if you do die next year and you have more than $1 million in assets, your heirs will have to pay the federal government 55% of the value of those assets in taxes. As This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's Avery Davidson shows us, one Louisiana congressman says he's now working to change that.
A fully outfitted combine like this can be worth $500,000. If a farmer has just 2 of these, that could put his family in a serious financial strain when he dies. According to Congressman Dr. John Fleming of Minden, starting next year, anyone with $1 million in assets would be subject to a 55% federal estate tax, a tax their heirs would have to pay.
We may not have any money in the bank, but we've definitely got it tied up in equipment and, in things that we use on the farm. And to have to come up with 55% or more of that value at one time, should something happen to, your parents or some way that you inherit it, then yes, it'd be bad.
It's because of farmers like Blake McCartney. Fleming says he will draft legislation to permanently eliminate the estate tax. But Fleming says he's also taking aim at the Environmental Protection Agency. That's because he doesn't understand why the EPA is looking to regulate farm dust and the most studied farm chemical ever used, atrazine.
It'd be very detrimental if they take that away from us.
We need an EPA that works with people, that protects citizens and protects consumers, not hurt farm production.
At this meeting with farmers in Shreveport, Fleming also spoke about desires to repeal current health care reform laws. Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation President Ronnie Anderson says it appears Fleming is listening to the needs of agriculture.
The folks in this room really agree with what he had to say, talking about the death tax, talking about the problems with health care, talking about the problems that would develop if cap and trade would pass.
So now it's time for Fleming to take these concerns from the farm to the House. In Shreveport, I'm Avery Davidson for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Dr. John Fleming is up for re-election in November. He's facing Democratic candidate David Melville, a Methodist minister from Bossier City, and independent Artis Cash, a community organizer from Shreveport.